light with me this time, and it's battery powered, so we don't have to worry too much about what happens with connectivity and whatnot. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned, we were going to be doing these little archival live streams on our way up towards the Tallahassee area. I've been watching certain live streams that are still ongoing on YouTube, and it looks like widespread tornado severe weather threat is still ongoing. There are active tornado warnings that are going on in Louisiana, parts of southern Mississippi, getting into southern Alabama and the extreme western fringe of the Florida Panhandle. I notice on radar. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, don't be surprised if we buffer a little bit, if we lose if we lose capabilities and whatnot. But on our way up right now, I'm on 27 headed north. We still got about 3.5 hours to Tallahassee. I'm on track to get there just as we might get a couple of discrete prefrontal cells working its way in there, and then that main squall is going to come through maybe an hour or two later. I'm going to try to time this perfectly. I got a full tank of gas. Car's running good, thankfully. I apologize if there's a little bit of buffering. Sipping on energy drink numero uno. Still got about 13 miles on 27, and then I'll see exactly what the route is going to do for me. It'll be about a 4-hour and a 7-minute drive altogether. Not too bad. A lot of our high-res models, HRRR, NAM 3 kilometer, what else? The FV3, NSSL. All of our high-res models are still thinking we're going to see a resurgence of potential tornado and supercell parameters and EHI values right through the heart of Central Florida. So the plan is still in effect. We're going to swoop up to the Panhandle. Ooh, nice pothole. There we go. Swoop up to the Panhandle and try to catch this puppy as it's rolling in. And right when it's just about on top of us, we're going to boogaloo back to Central Florida and try to beat it down here. Try to get here around 2:33 in the afternoon. I have my 5-gallon jug of gas in the trunk, in the hatch, in case I need to fuel up quick. But yeah, lots of rotational storms out there. 60, 70 mile an hour severe thunderstorm warnings associated with them. Very, very, very noticeably warm out right now. Definitely warmer. This is definitely a warm sector setting up over the Florida Peninsula, which is probably why our models are thinking that as that frontal line comes through and moves to the west coast, we could see a little bit of a reignition of some very, very isolated instances of stronger convection right along the frontal line. Saw a live cam from Alabama, and the lightning was insane. There's a lot of lightning out there. A ton of lightning. We're going to have a light show, more than likely, on the horizon as we pull up. And what's crazy, too, is the sun's going to be rising behind us. So where this thunderstorm is coming is going to be likely, where the squall line is coming in, is probably going to be lighting up the sky. So that's going to be kind of an awesome sight to see. I have all my camera gear in my bag right beside me. I'll probably be live streaming on here, and I might try to find a way to jerry-rig my camera on the dashboard so I can record front-facing, or just set it up one way or another and try to record something out the windshield. Dew point rising. It is absolutely rising. I noticed it immediately. That was the first thing I wanted to check out when I was packing up the car and finishing up prep and then feeding Willow before going out and driving. As soon as I stepped outside, I thought I have my hoodie right next to me. I thought I was going to need my hoodie still because it was just a little nippy last night before bed. I walk outside this morning, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm ready to start sweating. The humidity has definitely come up. Dew point temps are definitely noticeably up. We've had some overnight warm air advection occurring, so I want to say the warm front is surging north. Maybe not surging north, but it is definitely making its ascension towards the north, and we're probably going to meet that intersecting line just as we're starting to get up in towards the Panhandle. We shall see what happens. I'm surprised I got a few of you guys joining this morning. 3:11 in the morning right now. I'll be out in Port St. Joe. Very good, very good. Weather is headed towards Mississippi, Alabama, and northwest Florida is getting prefrontal rain. Yep. It looks like there are some prefrontal storms as well just off the shoreline of Alabama and the extreme western extent of the Panhandle, the barrier islands out there. I've been looking at radar and satellite, more so radar. I still have to download a reputable radar app to the phone and get that up and running. I'm kind of ready to experience this squall when it reaches Miko. I actually agree with you. We're going to see exactly what happens. You know, I'll admit, last night I was starting to lose just a little bit of faith in it. Last night I was thinking to myself as I was trying to fall asleep for my little power nap, I was thinking to myself, looking at radar, you know, this could be a bust. At least in terms of the really active weather, it might rain itself out and stabilize the atmosphere before it could get into Florida. But nope, that squall line is really ramping up. And then as soon as I look closely at some of the active watches, warnings, and advisories out there, we still have several severe thunderstorm warnings. I think there were at least 3 or 4 different tornado warnings when I looked at the radar, currently ongoing. So it's still an active pattern out there. Ongoing severe weather outbreak for sure. Strong winds, good straight line convective winds with these storms. I really didn't look closely as to whether or not these storms are still producing hail, so I'm not too sure on that. Tornado warnings are definitely still ongoing though, for certain. It is definitely a very good test run. Daha, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining. It's nice to see a couple people to keep me company just a little bit. We'll probably end this live stream after about the 15-minute mark. This is going to be one of those preemptive live streams, just letting you guys know that we are en route, we are on track. We're going to be arriving. If the car, Lord willing, holds up, if I hold up and we don't have to make too many ventures or stops for gas, we should be arriving right around 6:30, which is perfect. Just as the sun is coming up behind us, we'll get a nice view of the horizon and see exactly what's in front of us and just off to our south. Charlotte County area. I'll have to look closer at Charlotte County once I can actually stop, or once I have a free moment to look at radar and model data. We have a couple of 6Z models coming in right now. HRRR is definitely showing some very good thunderstorm activity for that area. I do think I'm probably going to be driving into prefrontal winds. I do think we'll probably be gusting close to tropical storm strength by the time we get up there out of the south. I wouldn't be surprised if we are. PM or someone in the chat, if you guys could look at some model data at what our surface winds are doing on the coastline. Well, model and observe data. See what we have for coastal winds and just subtly inland kind of winds right there up in the northwest portions of Florida. It's hard to tell. I'm on a very low lit road right now. I don't know if you guys can see through the windows. I mean, I know I'm tinted up in here, but very low lit road right now. There's no street lights. It's very desolate sometimes. That's why I don't like storm chasing at night too much, but I do appreciate the capability of being able to go live and at least kind of have you guys along for the ride, at least intermittently. Hopefully the signal gets better as we get closer to Tallahassee. I will admit I'm a little nervous because it does seem a little more rural out here, so we might lose service. Blizzard warning for northwest Texas to Nebraska. Yeah, that makes sense. Got to look at some analysis data, see if the low is still strengthening, if it's maintaining its intensity, it's maintaining its depth. If it's strengthening, we're going to see even more warm air advection that could possibly enhance coastal severe weather. That's also going to be a key determinant. Yeah, this is a very desolate road. This is 27. I got about 7 more miles until I have to get onto the next part of this trip. I've been on 27 now for about 35 miles. Definitely about 35 miles because this car has over 230,000 miles on its odometer now. She's still kicking pretty good. I'm seeing a few hooks over the Panhandle, but I could be wrong. No, you're absolutely right, Saltwater. When I glanced at radar, you could definitely see the teardrop shape. You can definitely tell those storms are spinning. It's just a matter of how much rotation they have with them. Haven't been able to really dissect them, look at them closely, and I also still need to download a really good quality radar so I can get up close and personal with them. It's going to be critical when it comes time to interrogate as we get ready to set up shop. I'm going to try my best to find a location near the Tallahassee, if not in the greater Tallahassee area, that has a good open view. Try to stay away from very heavily wooded areas. Try to have a couple of different escape routes. I'm going to try to stay close to the route I'm going to take back into Central Florida. I'm going through all this in my mind. There's definitely a game plan. It's just a matter of hopefully executing it okay. Yeah, this is a very expansive event. It's incredible if you ask me. This is a true winter storm. Definitely a true winter storm in every sense of the word. But yeah, here we go. We're on our way. When is it going to start getting bad in Central Florida? Models are still on track to start seeing the initial waves of potential prefrontal shower and storm activity as early as 2 o'clock in the afternoon, with the worst of it, that main line possibly moving through the peninsula around 4 to 5 o'clock. It will be a little bit sooner for the northern half of the peninsula because it's going to be angled like this. It's going to have a northeast to southwest orientation, so as it swoops through the northern half, the Panhandle towards Jacksonville, and then if you kind of stagger it laterally like so, or laterally like so, diagonally, that's when you're going to be able to extrapolate it forward, and you'll just see it hour by hour continuing to move on. Central Florida, we could see some prefrontal activity around 2, 3 o'clock, and then forward from there. 4 o'clock is when it looks to possibly arrive in my area, maybe between 4 and 5. So that's my target. I want to get up there to Tallahassee, see what Tallahassee has to offer, see if there's anything worth hanging around there for to the south, and watch that squall approach, see if conditions start to roll downhill. And then at the very latest, at 10-ish o'clock in the morning is when we're going to really start racing back down towards Central Florida. Ethan, I don't blame you. I'm honestly surprised I got up as fast as I did. I am very tired, but you know what? We're running on the adrenaline of storm chasing. We got that twister energy in us right now. Should I be worried for St. Mary's, Georgia? I don't have a map in front of me right now. How far to the south are you in Georgia? Tagan, forgive me if I'm butchering your name. If you're anywhere to the south of Atlanta, I will say you probably have to watch out for, at least at the very minimum, severe thunderstorm conditions, possible small hail, and especially convective winds. I'm actually hitting a little bit of traffic. Well, not traffic. I'm hitting one car. Hitting a little bit of traffic. There's one other vehicle out here on the road with me. Jeez, this is a desolate road. There are no lights anywhere. There's a little side street back there. Hopefully it can stay like this through much of the day today, and I won't have too many traffic disruptions on my way back south, because it's very easy to do the 4-hour trip up. Might be a little bit longer down back, so we'll have to play that by ear as well. Trucks pulled off to the side of the road here. Pretty sure I saw a strong cell coming on shore near Pensacola, Panama City like an hour ago. Yeah, there have been continuous onshore storms, or I should say there have been continuous slews of storms forming over the upper Gulf of Mexico and then pushing inland, and that threat is just continuing to spread eastward. That's why I'm trying to get up there around 6 to 6:30, because it does seem like that's when we could see a couple of those fast movers coming in off the Gulf Coast. Have they updated SPC charts? When I left earlier, it looks like they were just beginning to pump out updates. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm going to be taking the turnpike. Yeah, taking the turnpike in 2 miles. About to eat some tolls. So if anybody wants to donate, pay the toll money. I'm just kidding. Gonna probably cut this preliminary live stream for now, focus on the road. They need to expand that enhanced risk south for tornadoes, in my opinion. I do agree. I'm very interested to see what continues to unfold as we go through the day today, because our SIG-TORN, supercell, EHI parameters continue to try to ramp back up as you get over the Four Corners counties, Sumter, Polk, Osceola, and Orange, especially up towards the theme parks in Orlando. You see a sudden blip increase of tornado parameters, very strong thunderstorm parameters, strong winds in the heart of Central Florida. So I do think I'm on board with that level 2 risk. We'll likely see a little bit of terrain influence, even though I know Florida is mainly flat. We're still going to have frictional effects thanks to all the urbanization in Central Florida that might slow down any kind of major severe weather. Still get some strong winds probably, but the tornado threat's going to be marginal. Not marginal, excuse me. It's going to be hit or miss. Very intermittent, I should say. Yes, around 2 to 4 p.m. We'll probably be streaming quite consistently as we're on our way back down, mainly because, here we go, I got to make sure I don't miss my turn. We'll probably be streaming a lot more on our way back and as the sun comes up, because we can see everything, and that's when we're going to be running from this thing. Not even joking. We'll be trying to stay ahead of it. I do not want to get pulled into that squall line. I really don't. I do not. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather stay right out ahead of it and deal with any of the fast-moving cells just out ahead of it. Prefrontal stuff. All right, here we go. We're getting on the turnpike. No traffic, thankfully. On to the Florida Turnpike. Geez, we're already into the wooded area. I can already tell the trees are coming up. Hitting my first toll right here, right now. Forgive me, Florida Highway Patrol. If you're watching this, just understand this is official business. From what I saw, a saltwater pool, I read an article, I think out of either the Mobile National Weather Service or the Pensacola National Weather Service station. They're likely to extend the tornado watches and expand the tornado watches a little bit. All right, we are on the turnpike, guys. Damn, okay, 126 miles. Stay on 91 northbound Florida Turnpike. We're going to be on the turnpike for a while. I'm about to hit cruise control because I shouldn't hit too much traffic. Alrighty, folks, we're going to go ahead and start cutting this first preemptive live stream. Oh, snap, did somebody actually donate? I got a $2 donation. Thank you very much for that. Wow, I just now noticed that. I appreciate it. We got 44 miles till Ocala, 18 miles till I-75. It looks like GPS for the fastest route is going to keep us on the turnpike, sheesh, for 126 miles. So that's a majority of the trip. Because we've already done about 40 miles of driving. Add another 120 to that, we're approaching the 180 mile mark, so we'll have about another 40 miles to go before we start getting into the Panhandle, Tallahassee area. Another round of severe weather for southeast, 3 to 5 days. Central Florida, we'll get another round Friday afternoon. I agree. Definitely want to take a look at that as well once I get a chance to stop. I want to see what our models are doing, not only with the next system this weekend, but also into next week. I have family coming in on Saturday, and it looks like as it stands right now, Friday night is going to be the main event, and then hopefully Saturday it's going to start to clear out, so we're going to interrogate that a little bit as well. Very strong cell near Pensacola. I'm definitely going to download a radar app as soon as we get off of this live stream. I need it. I need to start looking at these storms closely. It's going to be pivotal to determine exactly how long we linger in Tallahassee. If I don't really see anything that impressive on radar coming out of the south or out ahead of me, I'm probably going to end up back building or pushing back slowly but surely. We'll start steadily, let that squall line creep up on us, and then we'll full-fledged head back down to Central Florida. But thank you, Saltwater Pool. I appreciate it. Everybody, we will definitely talk to you very soon. It might be a little while before we do another live stream. Maybe I'll update you guys in about 2 hours. It's 3:25 right now. Maybe we'll go live again around 5:30-ish. We'll give it a little while. I'm just going to be on the road. Nothing's really going to be happening just yet. Still, I'll be taking observations. It's 66 degrees out there right now, according to my dashboard thermometer. And I'm going to watch that. We'll see if that continues to go up. I'll kind of keep an eye on it for you guys. And when I report back in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'll let you know if we've seen any more warm air advection, even as I've been heading to the north. One thing I'm noticing is the 3-kilometer NAM wants to back off on tornado supercell parameters right up along the west coastline of Florida, and I do see what it's doing there. We have colder ocean waters right up along the coastline, Tampa Bay, St. Pete, further to the north and south of there. It's the east coast where our warm Gulf Stream current is. I don't know if we're going to see a market decrease like the NAM is. Like the NAM might be over-anticipating how much we're just going to lose convection. All of our other models think that's going to hold tight and that squall line is going to stay organized as it pushes through the west coast of Florida. So we'll have to watch that as well as we go over the next couple hours and we get closer and closer to game time in the Panhandle. We'll see how the southern appendage is holding on to its convection through the Gulf of Mexico. Tegan, thank you very much. Dark Earth, good to see you. Thank you very much. See you late in the afternoon. Nazario got school in a few hours. Be careful. Hopefully you can tune in for this afternoon. But yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and cut the stream right now. It's going to be 3:30 a.m. Thank you very much for joining us for this little pre-brief. Again, we'll say first leg of the trip, en route briefing. We're still got a long way to go. I believe we still have about maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes, about 3 hours up until we get to Tallahassee. And I'll just keep, wow, that was a big boar on the side of the street just now. It's always sad when I see roadkill. But yeah, we'll definitely keep you posted, and we'll see what happens. We're just going to keep a close eye on things. You know where I'll be. I'll be updating the streams every now and again as archival streams like this. This is more so just for archival purposes. Nothing really extravagant. Not doing this for views or anything like that. Just kind of touching base with everybody who was expecting to go alongside me with this storm chase. By 5 p.m., be inside and stay in. I agree. I definitely agree. Schools are closed here in Jacksonville. I'm very glad to hear that. But alrighty, folks. I hope you have a good rest of your morning. Try to get some rest if you can. It's only 3:30 in the morning. Try to at least get a couple hours more for me. And then try to send that sleepy energy or that extra sleep energy to me so that way I'm not surviving only with like 1,000 milligrams of caffeine in my system. Once I close the live stream, I'll probably pop the sunroof, get some cooler air in here before the sun does start coming up. So we'll talk to you guys very soon, all right? Pensacola under a severe thunderstorm warning. And this is the coldest point of the night, too. So if there's severe thunderstorms popping right now, it'll be very interesting to see what happens as the sun starts coming up. We actually do get maybe a little bit of daytime heating starting up. So to be determined, lots to watch, lots to do. For some reason, I just lost the stream for a second. Looks like my phone is heating up because of the live stream. What a bummer. All right, we're going to go ahead and close it down. I'm going to get some cool air in the car. We'll talk to you guys here very soon, all right? Give it about 2 hours, around 5:30. You'll see another live stream from me, okay? Be safe out there, guys, and we'll talk to you very soon, okay? Weather Center Nazario temporarily